Welcome to today's Fireside Chat with Jesse. I am joined today by Amber Benavides, Chief Credit Officer at Honor Capital. Thanks for joining me, Amber.
Thanks for having me.
No, I'm glad to have you on here. I want to say that when it was you, Shay, and Brian, or maybe the second one of these that I did in 2020. So
all the time flies.
In honor of the boys not being able to be here, I grew some facial hair for Shay. Maybe in a year I can, have as much as him.
You have some large shoes to fill with that one.
I was just hoping that whatever grows in here is as dark as my eyebrows and not as gray as my hair.
Well, you'll have to step it up like he does and start dyeing it as well.
Fair enough. For those people who might not be familiar with you, Amber, can you just kind of introduce yourself and your career in equipment finance?
Yes. So as you mentioned, I'm the Chief Credit Officer here at Honor Capital. I'm also head there's the syndications and run our operations as well. We started here about 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And I come from a background in leasing and commercial banking, 20 years or so now.
When I was it was embarrassing that I didn't know your title beforehand, but when I was looking you up to put it in the script for this, I'm like, oh, she finally settled on a role.
No, jack of all trades, still master of none, I guess. I'm still managing it all, but the team's expanding soon, I can say that. Perfect.
And then from an Honor Capital perspective, almost 2 years in business. Congratulations on that milestone. Mind just kind of talking about the organization, ticket sizes, location?
Yes. So we're based out of Minneapolis. However, we're nationwide. We have reps that cover all territories. They're located. We have one out in the Northeast, one in the Southeast now, and then we have some that travel all over. We're industry and equipment agnostic. I tell you, average ticket size is usually 2 to 5 million, but it can range. We'll go with smaller ticket as well. And this year we've done, I'd say we really started originating 18 months ago. And just this past year, we reached over 100 million in originations for the year. And we expect to hopefully double that in the upcoming 22.
You just took my next question away from me. That's fantastic. I remember going into December, you guys were you're zoning in on that number. Congratulations for hitting it.
It is, and we exceeded it. So we were really excited, and we actually had a backlog all ready to go for January. I tell you, December was probably one of the busiest year ends I've ever had. I think all of us said the same thing. And so it was a really exciting time for us, and we gained a lot of new customers just at the end of the year too.
That's fantastic. And then I guess from you go back 24 months ago, right? Before you guys started Honor, did you ever think that you would be in this position this quickly?
With the two, Brian and Shay, I had no doubt that we would be there. They always have had lofty goals, and usually they achieve what they set out to target. So I didn't know that it would be this quick and this fast, but it's been a roller coaster and an amazing time.
And then from the employee's perspective, it seems like at least once a month, if not multiple times a month, I see press releases where people are coming on board. What is your total headcount right now?
I think we're up to 19 now. A few of those are part-time. And the expectation this year is we'll be gaining some more sales reps. So we're excited about that as well.
And is that too many people to have a photo taken on the roof?
They're not going to make me climb up on that roof again. I can tell you that. They're going to find a new location. That is an interesting fact of me. I have a huge fear of heights. And yes, at one point in time, they made me climb on the roof.
sorry, I just remembered that a little bit, and I'm like, that's a lot of people to have up there, but maybe.
Yeah. We'll find a new location, I assure you of that.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, I wanted to congratulate you again on this lovely article here. So let me see if I can get it away from my glare. However, there you are. So
Thank you.
congratulations on that. I guess, when did you find out about it and how did it make you feel?
Oh, when did I find out? Time flies. I would tell you, I think that I found out maybe November. I was surprised with it actually. A couple people started reaching out to me to let me know that I was nominated. And no pun intended, I was honored, but I'm quite a modest person. So to be in the spotlight like that, takes me out of my comfort zone. It's easier for my partners, Shay and Brian. They love being in the limelight. For me, it was an honor, but yeah, out of my comfort zone. But very excited about it.
And I can see that, and me knowing you for the last couple of years. But let's face it, you're the glue, holding those guys together. So you owe yourself a lot of credit there.
Well, I appreciate that.
Overall, from I guess, one of the reasons they put this is to spotlight women in equipment finance. What are your thoughts on how, you're a C-level, individual at Honor Capital? I guess, what are your thoughts on how women are rising in the ranks of equipment finance organizations, Amber?
Well, it's really exciting. I tell you, in banking and in the finance industry, leasing, usually it's underserved. You don't see a lot of women in the industry, and we're starting to see a lot of growth. So it's really empowering and exciting to see that, and that people are taking on the challenges and they're finding different opportunities within our industry across the board. So it's very exciting for us.
No, absolutely. And I get excited when I see different things like this, because as I kind of thumb through some of these profiles here, and I know it's not professional to look down, but I like to meet like some of these people, and it's like, oh, I know them. I don't know them, but let's hear the story.
You network with everyone. I have no doubt you know most of them.
So I want to talk real quick about on the credit side of things. What do you see from a challenge perspective right now when you're looking at deals? Not
so much a challenge as I would say an opportunity for us, because right now there's a challenge.
It's a perfect sales answer to anything. I mean, check this out.
I guess they've been training me well. I've been around the sales people too long, I would say. For me, I still see an opportunity. There's a lot of businesses that were impacted by COVID. So they had years where they weren't performing. So a lot of banks are putting restrictions on them. So for leasing, it's a big opportunity where we can come in and get creative and help them as they rebuild. So we're looking for 2022, I see is a very exciting year for us. Like I said, we're looking to double what we did and exceed that next year, just based on that alone. And as we're going to be in a raising rate environment, everybody can see the writing on the wall. That will also help us get creative and give solutions that give more flexibility, financial flexibility to our customers.
No, that's fantastic. And I guess from the last 2 years, any lessons, short-term lessons learned? Obviously, you're just 2 years in.
Yeah. Short-term lessons learned, I would say, well, there's probably a lot of them. There's a lot of them. Top two. For me, probably should have had our legal counsel in right away. She's very great at helping us with the back end and setting up. Sales tax has never been a strong suit of mine, so I was glad she came in right away to swoop and take that over for us. Lessons learned standpoint, one of the other largest things again is software technology and how that can actually help us scale. That's a big part of, I think, any industry and company. It's amazing how many steps it can cut out to have those systems in place. and to actual create efficiency. That's the biggest thing that I guess the lessons learned. Start planning immediately.
Well, that makes complete sense. Otherwise, it's like I have deals, I need to make it work after the fact, and it just overcomplicates things. But
Correct.
yeah. So what are your, so obviously, so we're going to 300 million, you said, right? Just throwing that out there.
I'm sure that's what it will change to soon.
I'm sorry, I just can't help myself from that perspective. Just wired from a sales guy. Sorry.
Don't give them any ideas.
I'm not saying anything, I promise. It's not going to be online or anything, so you never know. What are your thoughts in regards to this year? Obviously it's starting off strong. I guess just what is your vision for the rest of 2022, Amber?
We are working on a lot of exciting initiatives where we're rolling out new products also and different product lines. We've traditionally stuck with leasing, and that's everybody's history, their background, but we're starting to get into other financing products that we'll be able to offer. Some of those are input financing that we're working with in the agriculture sector. So there's various other products that we're launching this year that's really exciting for us that I look forward to driving and initiating business.
That's great. That's great. And are you guys attending a lot of different conferences, trade shows?
We are. So a lot of our individual sales reps are going to their niche, different markets that they target. So healthcare, that's a big one for us. Construction, they're attending a lot of those conferences. And then of course, we're always gonna reach out and attend the leasing conferences. I know there's quite a few coming up that we'll be attending in the next couple months.
Well, excellent. I'm just trying to think here. I want to ask you a fun fact about yourself, other than the fact that you're afraid of heights. Anything else you'd like to share?
I guess fun fact, I grew up as a farm girl. So grew up, my family farmed in Sisseton, South Dakota. And so we lived in Breckenridge, Minnesota, and we would drive back and forth on weekends and during the summer going down to Sisseton. So it was
those are two places I never heard of. Sisseton before, and I thought Breckenridge was in, I thought it was Colorado. A skiing resort someplace. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, like these names.
That would probably be the more interesting and fun one. I mean, I picked up skiing, but unfortunately it wasn't in Breckenridge, Colorado. It was in Minnesota. So that's always, but yeah, growing up with a farm family, it kind of got me to where I am now, hard work and initiative.
So what kind of farm was it? Like, what'd you guys have? Was it livestock, agriculture?
They had a little bit of everything. So they did corn, wheat, soybeans, and then they had livestock as well. They had cattle. So beef cattle. Nice. It was. We are binge watching Yellowstone right now. And I looked over at Brooke and I see her starting to look at like land. I'm like, stop it. Just stop it. Just stop. We have enough pandemic hobbies. We don't need another one like this. Come on, knock it off. The kids would enjoy being able to do that, Jesse. Give them some animals out there to take care of, keep them busy. I could see you with the nice cowboy hat on out there.
I guess then I would definitely have to grow this out for a couple of years just to try to be able to fit in.
Be a good look for you.
A little fun fact about me, I actually grew up on 300 acres of farmland myself. However, it was on the agriculture side.
And what did you guys farm? Really?
We had 100 acres of different grapes. We had peaches, pears, nectarines. So,
and where
cherries,
was that at?
Watkins Glen, New York. So actually it was Hector, New York, which is a small little town in upstate New York.
I would not expected to have that type of crop there. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's the if you ever look up the Finger Lakes, it's actually a decent wine trail. However, that area is more known for their whites than the reds. So
That is a fun fact.
yeah, I may have to bring a bottle when I come up in June of it, so you can check out some of the local vintage from up there.
That is a must. I definitely would encourage that. Wouldn't pass that up at all.
Nope, we'll just open it up on the roof and we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that will, June, we should be able to make it. Anytime before that, there's probably gonna be snow up there still.
No, no, thank you. No, thank you. I guess my last question I have for you, Amber, is, and I asked this question a year ago, and I'm assuming it's not going to change. Of all the different companies out there, why do business with Honor Capital?
I would say we're relationship driven, and we really look for the flexibility and creativity for our products that we offer for our customers to meet goals that they're trying to achieve. And there's a lot of people, and it makes sense that it's transaction driven, but we are really relationship driven with our customers. And I see that as a driving point for us and something that really sets us aside.
And I can see that. I mean, what was interesting is when we first met a couple of years ago, I'm like, how have we been in this industry for so long? How did we not meet one another? And now I feel like I talk to Brian and Shay a couple times a month, and it's just, I can definitely see that relationship side, and I see how it's impacting your business. So it's great.
And we're a community driven organization as well. So one of our main goals is to give back within the community. So that's one of our driving forces of why we all got together. We all had like goals and like just the way that we wanted to serve our communities. So servant leaders. And so that's another thing that sets us apart, I would say, is our primary goal is to give back actually within the community.
No, and Brian has the Slipka Foundation. I know that's a big one. And one thing I like about that, is 100% of what is given to that foundation goes directly to those that need it, which is amazing.
Yes. And that's one of the many organizations that we are supporting, and we take time every month and throughout the year to find different initiatives for us where we can give back.
Perfect. I mean, it's nice and warm out there right now. Maybe like a nice little 5K.
Well, I can say that I honestly have been running still. So
No.
hey, I had to stay outside. Otherwise, if I sit inside all winter long, it wouldn't be good for anyone.
Well, I appreciate your time today. Thanks again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you. I'm assuming probably next time won't be till June, but hopefully our paths cross before then.
I'm sure I'll see you at some of the upcoming conferences.
Oh, that's right. You have the funding conference in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be in Chicago. I think we're planning on heading to New York, and there's a couple others on there too.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you again for your time, and I will talk to you soon, Amber. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks.